Look, sometimes it's an April TBR, so you want to wear a summer dress, but you just got 6 inches of snow yesterday because it's actually only mid-March in Canada, so winter is not over. And then you put a layer on so you're warm enough, and all of a sudden you look like a 17-year-old on TikTok, except you realize you're old. Hi everyone, Rosie here. Welcome back to my channel. I don't know if this is a summer vibe. I feel like this is what 17-year-old me thought I would wear to the office as an adult vibe. So maybe it's okay to just dress for my 17-year-old self. That's the joy of filming things alone in my home office. I can't joke around for too long though because I have a lot of books that I want to read in April. You should be very stressed for me because I am very stressed for me, and I need to tell you all about them. The first book that I am definitely going to read in April is The Memory Librarian by Janelle Monae, and I think other contributors as well, but I haven't seen them listed anywhere yet. This is a short story collection that elaborates on the world that she established in her Dirty Computer album and the accompanying movie, and I think it explores themes of like totalitarian mind control and also what it means and what it looks like to break out of that. I don't really need to know too much more about it. Short stories, artist that I love, theme that isn't one I would usually gravitate towards, but like want to give a go because of those first two things. I have it on pre-order. I'm going to read it as soon as it comes out on April 19th, and fingers crossed, it will be amazing. I'm also planning a buddy read of Bitter Orange by Claire Fuller. I'm going to be reading this with AJ Dunn, and I'm really excited because I think this is like thriller literary fiction, maybe is the vibe I'm getting from the blurb, and they read a lot of literary fiction and a lot of thrillers, so I feel like they'll have a really interesting take. From what I understand, it is set in a rundown manor in the English countryside in like the late 1960s. There's an architect or architect student or architect amateur, I don't know what she is, but she's there studying architecture or something, living on like the attic, and a young glamorous couple move in on the floor below her, and somehow she gets pulled into their lives and everything's not as it seems. It sounds like it's going to be phenomenal, and I'm really looking forward to reading that. Next, I need to read this so I can review it. Under Fortunate Stars by Ren Hutchings. I have an e-arc of this, so thank you to NetGalley and Rebellion. If you would like to buy a copy yourself, it is coming out in early May, and I'm sure there's a pre-sale available somewhere. I don't know much about it because I haven't read it yet, so you know, if you want to wait till my wrap up, totally understand that. But this is a sci-fi story about time travel, but I think in like a one event way, not popping back and forth way. We will see. And apparently it's a new take on space opera. I think I like space opera. I think everything that I've read that could be classified as space opera, I have enjoyed. That sounds promising. This next book has been on my general TBR for literally like almost 2 years now, and it's time I actually read it. It is Earthlings by Sayaka Murata, and that is translated by Ginny, Tapley, Takemori. I adored Convenience Store Woman in 2020. It was phenomenal, enjoyed it so much, and I've been meaning to read Earthlings ever since, and I just have not got around to it. Her new book, Life Ceremony, is coming out in like June or July, I think. I have an e-arc of that. I want to read and review it, and I want to have read Earthlings first. I don't know if it'll matter at all, and like I said, I've wanted to read this for ages and just haven't made time. I have no idea how to sum up this book without having read it, and I don't know if I will after I've read it either, but I think it has themes of belonging and fitting in with society and what happens when you don't, maybe, but I think it's, from what I've heard, weirder than Convenience Store Woman, so really excited to discover that. And finally, for this section, I have a book that I just really want to read, so I want to read it now, and that is When We Lost Our Heads by Heather O'Neill. This seems to blend the story and the life of Marie Antoinette with the setting of 19th century wealthy industrialists in Montreal, which immediately just like, wow, concept. I think we follow a version of Marie Antoinette who starts off as like a young girl in school and grows into a woman. She has this friendship with a girl named Sadie, who I think is based on the Marquis de Sade. I don't really know what's going to happen in this, but this like line from the blurb just had me going, wow, need to read. Traveling from a repressive finishing school to a vibrant brothel, taking readers firsthand into the brutality of factory life and the opulent lives of Montreal's wealthy. When We Lost Our Heads dazzlingly explores gender, sex, desire, class, and the terrifying power of the human heart when it can't let someone go. Yes, I saw this book on a display table in a bookstore early in March. It had such a beautiful cover that I immediately went, oh my god. But I was restrained. I didn't want to read a 450-page book in hardcover, so I didn't buy it. Then a book olive absolutely raved about it in her February wrap-up. Thankfully, the Scribid Gods are smiling on me and it's available as an audiobook, so I'm just gonna listen to it because I'm excited about it now and I want to read it while I'm excited. Fortunately, that little bit of an impulsive decision is being counterbalanced by Continue-a-thon. This is a readathon dedicated to finishing or continuing series that we have on progress. You know how every year at the start of the year, about half of Booktube makes a goals video and half of us say, wow, I really want to finish more series. I've got so many fun series on the go that I want to read more of, and then it's so hard to do. Well, Laura of Laura's Little Library, Hugo of Scientist's Reading World, and Jane of The Bookaholic have done just that. From April 2nd through 15th, they are hosting this readathon, and we're gonna finish some series, guys. I am so excited. This is the first readathon of the year, I think, that I've been like, wow, I actually need to make a TBR list, not like include one book. The prompts work kind of differently, but I will link to the information down below, and let me tell you about the books I'm hoping to read for it. First, The Winter of the Witch by Katherine Arden. This is the third and final book in the Winter Night trilogy. I struggled a bit with The Girl in the Tower in February, not because of the book, but because of my headspace. We'll see if this is a book that I'm getting on with right now or not, but I really want to know how this story wraps up, so I'd like to be able to get to it. Then I'm going to read The Fifth Elephant by Terry Pratchett. This is just the Discworld reread book I was going to read in April anyways. If you have seen my goals video, which it'll be up here if you have not, I am trying to read through the Discworld series in publication order, and that fits perfectly with a readathon about continuing series. I then have two audiobooks, the first of which, The Mortal Word by Genevieve Cogman. This is the fifth book in the Invisible Library series. I'm really excited. This is the oldest series I have on the go because I read the first book over 5 years ago and only read the second in January. You can watch any of my recent wrap-ups to hear me fangirl about the series in general. I am loving it and this will not be a challenge. And finally, When the Tiger Came Down the Mountain by Nghi. This is a novella set in a fantasy world that is sort of based on Imperial China, I think. I absolutely loved The Empress of Salt and Fortune in February. Oh my goodness, blew me away. Adored that book, so I really am looking forward to getting to the companion novel or companion novella. I have two more brief events that I'm participating in that I should mention on my TBR. The first of those is that Rick MacDonnell of his YouTube channel, and I think this is on his Instagram, is hosting a challenge to read NYRB editions in April. These are a set of editions or a publisher, I don't know the terminology, that I had never heard of until I saw one and immediately bought it at the bookstore in early March. So the fact that he's hosting a challenge to read them right now just lined up perfectly. I am going to be reading the one I just picked up, which is Mrs. Palfrey at the Claremont by Elizabeth Taylor. It seems to be about a little old lady who moves into like a long stay hotel for seniors and something eventful happens in her life. It's apparently a blackly humorous story of loneliness, deception, and life in old age. I don't really know anything about the book or the author, but the blurb spoke to me, and again, I'm excited about this, so I want to just read it, not let it sit around for 5 years. And finally, I don't actually know the last book I'm going to be reading because it is whatever I pick for the TBR Tackle prompt 4 in April. This is a challenge being hosted by Kieran of Katie Books. I am loving participating. My March pick is amazing and just so glad I picked it up. We will not know until the beginning of April when Kieran posts the next prompt what the next book will be. Keep your eye on my channel in April to find out if you are curious. I would love to hear down below, what are you planning on reading in April? What are you most excited about to read in April? What are you scared to read in April? I want to hear about all ends of the reading spectrum. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like down below. If you would like to see more of my videos, please hit subscribe, and thank you for watching.